Okay, so let's come to lie down on our backs, feet to the floor, knees up. And let's begin by placing the hands on the lower belly, elbows touch the floor, and then close off the eyes and invite the weight of your body to be met by the support of the ground. Notice if the shoulders are raised and see if you can allow them to melt. And then straight away begin to tune into your breath, so paying attention to your natural breath. Feeling the belly rise and fall naturally in and out of the hands without really doing anything in particular. And the movements of the abdomen possibly be quite small here. And then let's float the hands to cradle or hug round the ribs. Again, inviting the shoulders to melt. And observe the breath here underneath your palms. You might even notice some movements behind you into the floor. And then sliding the fingertips just to rest underneath the collarbones. You can tuck the arms in. Once again, melt the shoulders, release the face. And feel into the breath here, into the chest. So reminding ourselves that the breath is three-dimensional all the way around, front, back, and sides. And open up the eyes. And then from here, let's bring the palms down by the sides. And we'll work through some bridges. Now engaging with the breath. So let's inhale. Imagine the diaphragms releasing and descending. And then exhale, ground through the feet. And roll up through the spine. Feel a gentle squeezing of your bottom. Inhale at the top. Notice that the breath is somewhat restricted, and that's okay. And exhale, curl down. Feel perhaps the base of the body gather to support your descent. And as you inhale, roll the pelvis back to neutral and let everything go once again. Last time, exhale, rolling and gathering, rising up onto the shoulders, not too high. Inhale wide into the ribs as best you can. And as you exhale, still that sense of support through the pelvic floor as you roll down. And then once you land, enjoy that release of everything. Good. And then from here, bring the knees into the chest. And lightly draw the thighs towards you. Lengthen the back of the neck. Slowly roll to one side and come up to seated. Good. And be comfortable so you can sit on a cushion or a block. And then bring the palms up, backs of the hands to the knees. And bring your fingertips to touch like a bud or a seed. And then spread your fingers away like the petals of the flower opening. So we're going to mirror that with the breath. So let's start in that bud form. Inhale as the diaphragm, the breathing diaphragm descends and flattens. Let's open the petals of our fingers. And as the respiratory diaphragm softens and returns back to its start position, exhale, bring the fingertips back into that bud position. Inhale, diaphragms drop, descend. Petals open. And as you exhale, the breathing diaphragm releases. The pelvic floor starts to engage as we bring the fingertips together. So repeat this in your own time. So flow through the cyclical breath, matching the petals of your fingers opening and closing with the breath. So on each inhale, let the fingertips move away. And on each exhale, bring the fingertips together. Shoulders easy. So the inhale breath, the rib cage widening, expanding, inviting air in. And that passive exhale as the diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm, draws back to neutral. And if we then focus on the pelvic floor diaphragm, as you inhale, it releases and descends. It takes a break. And as you exhale, feel a sense of gathering, connecting and lifting through the base. So flowing through one more cycle of your breath. Until you're ready to open up your eyes. Flip the palms down. Good. So let's shift now onto an all fours position and we'll move through cat-cow. So feed the weight of your spine down the arms and legs into the floor. Let's inhale, reach the crown and the sacrum long. And as you exhale, you can blow through the mouth as if you're blowing out 100 birthday candles. So you're actively lifting the abdominals. And then inhale through the nose and slide your spine back to its neutral. And repeat this at your own pace. So if I'm too slow, don't worry. If I'm too fast, don't worry. Exhale through the mouth if that's appropriate to feel a little bit more active engagement through the abdominals. Avoid sticking your tummy out. Feel the navel float back. And then inhale, sliding long. And then in your own time, let's do one more. Exhaling, curling, lifting, supporting. And then inhaling, coming back to neutral. Good. And then from here, let's tuck the toes under and come into down dog. So once again, the weight of your spine being carried down through the arms, into the hands, into the floor, into the legs, into the feet. Let your ears come between your arms. Knees can be soft. Can you let your abdominals relax here? And then pad your hands back to your feet for a ragdoll. You can bend the knees. And then slowly curl up, stacking the bones of your spine. Head is the last thing to arrive. Pause. So we'll move through the half sun salute now, doing the traditional breath. And I would like us to think of, as we inhale, energy descending down into the body, into the earth. And as we exhale, energy rebounding up through the earth, the feet, into the crown and out. And see how that feels, the quality of that feels for you. So separate the feet, let your arms drape. Inhale, rib cage expands, arms reach over the head. You can touch the palms or not. And as you exhale, pull the spine over the thighs, hands to the shins or the floor. Inhale, lead with the crown without craning your neck. Halfway lift. Exhale, once again, pouring forward. Let the head dangle. Inhale, lift the spine all the way up to standing, touch the palms above the head, and then exhale, hands release. So I'll talk a bit more about the energy here. So, as you inhale, ground the energy down into the feet as you reach up. Exhale, imagine the energy, the direction of force, rebounding up and out and pouring through the crown. Inhale, grounding into the feet and into the earth, halfway lift. Exhale, rebounding up and out. Inhale, send the energy down into the feet as you rise up, touch the palms or not. Exhale, standing tall, feeling that support through the base of the body. Good, lovely. So from here, bend the knees, so slide through Utkatasana, hands to the mat, and then walk forward back into a down dog just for a moment. And then from here, we're going to move into a plank or forearm plank, so depending on your wrist health. So inhale, come forward to plank. Good. So shoulders on wrists. You can bring the knees down and do it this way. Good. So take a few cycles of breath here. And what do you notice? It's a little harder to breathe, isn't it? So the breath is probably shorter and shallower, because we're supporting the body, the spine against gravity, and there's a lot of muscular effort. Inhale. Exhale, blow out your birthday candles. Slide the navel up without too much tension. Inhale, little release, minuscule release. Exhale, avoid sticking your tummy out. And then slowly bring the knees down, and let's come into Balasana, child's pose. So you can send the arms down by the side and release the head to the floor. Slowly curl up. Good. So let's bring our bottoms to the mat. And we'll do more active exhales here as we load the core body. So the core body is basically, well, it's a lot. But for now, let's think of the core as the head, the spine, and the pelvis, and then all the muscles that support the axial skeleton. So feet to the floor, and then anchor back a little bit. Avoid rounding the spine, so keep a little length through the lower back. One hand to the belly and float the leg up, one leg up. Notice if you stick your tummy out. So the idea here is as we exhale, we want to engage the abdominals or the muscles around the body. So they kind of cinch in like a corset. You probably heard that. You can try the other leg and then come up. So we'll use the breath. So slide down. You can stay here or release the arms. Inhale. Exhale through the nose, really casually, or through the lips if that was useful. Inhale at the top. Exhale, float the foot back down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, if that was useful. Inhale at the top. Exhale, float back down. And you can stay here or maybe bring both feet off the floor and balance for 3. Do as many breaths as you need. 2 and 1. Good. Lower the feet down and take a break. And then from here, let's roll back onto the backs. So now notice as the feet come to the floor, it can be more comfortable, knees up. So we're back with gravity. So the breath changes and adapts depending on what we're doing with the body. Is it under load? Have we got one foot up in the air? Are we in plank pose? So now you're resting and meeting gravity, meeting the floor. You can return back to quite a restorative breath, you could say. So we'll end with a visualization. I'm going to come up to seated. It'll be easier for me to talk. And you can join me too, or the offer is to remain seated. So allowing yourself to be rested. And like again, I'll say, but we'll end with this visualization. So you might need to just put a jumper on or something. So observing the weight of the body on the ground, and the ground almost lifting up and supporting you. So soften the shoulders, release the jaw. settle in. Bring your attention back into your natural breath, so watching the breath as it travels in and down and up and out. Watch the breath as it changes the shape of your body as you breathe. And now I'd like you to imagine two balls, so two spherical 3D balls. One is resting in the rib cage, the thoracic, and one is floating, resting in the pelvis. And don't worry if you find it hard to imagine both at the same time. You may end up just focusing on one, but that's okay. So these two balls, floating, resting in the rib cage and in the pelvis. And you notice that they're moving. They're expanding and condensing. Expanding and condensing. And then you notice that they're expanding and condensing on your breath. As you breathe, these two spheres at the same time, in the same rhythm. As you breathe, they expand. And as you breathe, they condense. And you watch and you feel into this rhythm of the breath, in this synchronicity of this pulse of these two spheres in the body. Not trying too hard. Condensing and expanding as you breathe. The body completely relaxed. No squeezing or over-efforting. And then allow the image of these two spheres, these two balls to fade until it's just you and your breath once again. The body being breathed. And then when you're ready, roll to one side. Take a moment there. And rise up to a comfortable seat. And you can rest the hands wherever you like. So honoring both the doing and the being of the breath, of the pelvic floor, of your life, and honoring both. I hope that was useful. I hope you managed to bring some of these tools into your practices, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.